just one.
Could be.
If
Could
Snute
be.
wins this.
So, for now, we have Snute spawning up to the northern position here as our blue Zerg. And down to the south, these guys are 1-1 apiece. We have CM Storm Polt.
Definitely favouring Polt on this map. But overall in the series, I favour Snute. So which one? I don't know to pick.
We'll see. We shall see. I mean, Polt looked good game number 1, but there were glimmers of hope for Snute there in game number 1 as well. So, and then game number 2 comes along, and Snute just goes man mode, and then deals with Polt. So I'm gonna have to go with Snute here. You did mention it was a good map for Polt, but I think Snute might be able to overcome it. We shall see.
Yeah, like I said, I really felt Snute played really well in game number 1. Was just playing from behind and wasn't. Even if you played that well, when you're that far behind against a player like Polt, it's really, really, really hard to pull back. And he almost made it, which is why I believed in him in game number 2. Coming into game number 3 now, definitely feel that Polt, through commentating him over the last couple of years, mainly against top Zerg players, whether it be Hyun or Stefano, his two big rivalries in Zerg players in these international tournaments, he always digs deep when the series goes longer. He always finds a way and plays stronger as the series goes on. So I'm expecting Polt to bring out a really strong performance here, and his style is perfect for Heavy Rain. The distance isn't too far away from the third base of Snute, and what we may see from Snute is something which has started to happen, is Zerg players take their third base on the left-hand side now. It's actually starting to happen more and more, because Terran players go straight through the middle, and then they can drop in the main base and have units on the high and low ground at the same time.
Yeah.
It's something that started to happen. We may see Snute kind of lean towards that in aid of holding off Polt's aggression. He may not, though. It's just something we might see.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, defending this location, if that comes to fruition, is very, very difficult. Having to send Lings and Banelings up to the north, up on the high ground, and then even if you do that, then Terran just picks stuff up and goes back down to the low ground. And it's really irritating to deal with. But for now, Polt here is just grabbing himself that Reaper once again, and it's not too bad a Reaper map. We've even seen a few Terran players being able to get away from Speedlings in the middle of it.
Yep, that's right. Lots of cliffs to jump up and down on.
Yep. That was so northern when you just said that. I don't know if you noticed.
Nope.
Oh, God. It reminded me of all my friends.
Hero beat Hadzwabs, by the way, 2-0.
Oh, okay.
As another update this came in.
You're all right there, Sean.
Yeah. I had a cola, a Coke.
Oh.
It's getting to me. I can't put a sentence together without hiccuping and having gas myself, like Snute had a lot of in the last game.
Just like Snute.
Yeah.
Well, this Reaper's going to have a little look on round, but once again, Polt resides himself to the fact that he's not going to get too much done in the main and starts to work away on this hatchery for no particular reason other than waiting for his second Reaper to come along and maybe get a Ling or two when they pop, but that's about it.
That's the problem when drinking fizzy drinks when casting is...
Yes,
you're
it
like,
is.
Whoop. That's what I feel like.
Yep, and ooh, very close there for that one. Little Reaper, he almost had a hiccup himself. He has to be careful.
I was wondering now, on a smaller player map, some Zerg players do like to be aggressive, roach bailing kind of attacks, but against Polt's style, especially because it's not very greedy, it just isn't an option for Snute.
Yeah, he's almost always adding on the barracks, extra barracks even before, like third command center, and just rallying out a ton of units. We even see, extended builds of Hellions, which are trying to keep his opponent contained on the other side. So, gotta be careful.
And Snute is seeing the exact same build order once again. The starport after the factory into the second gas. The second gas allowing him to be able to go up to the reactor on the starport to build the Viking, the eventual Medivacs, get Stim, get Widow Mines.
Ooh, so close on that one Reaper, 2 health. But Snute loves to trundle on out there with 2 of these queens and just come straight on back. And then we have that third base, but it has instantly been spotted here for Polt. So at least he knows which way to push down.
Yeah, it's on this left-hand side. I thought we may see that.
Yeah.
It always used to be in the middle here, but recently it has changed through the reasons mentioned before.
Yeah, it's a bit scary. And, well, 4 creep tumors getting spread at the same time. So Snute's really pulling no punches when it comes to getting that going very fast.
Yeah, he needs to, because this base is further away.
Yeah.
He needs to connect properly if he wants to deal on against Polt's aggression.
He's really diligently trying to force the cancellation on this, and he's getting quite close, but does get shooed away by those 3 queens. If they didn't go down there, that would have guaranteed had to be cancelled.
And Polt, through defending with his queens, he's gonna have to. He might lose a queen here. He does lose a queen. He actually checked if the reactor or tech lab had been added onto the starport in case Polt was playing a bit of mind games and ended up with Cloak Banshees. And he did scout the reactor while getting his overlord away, so he knows exactly what's going on. Baneling nest down nice and early, even before the evolution chambers, realizing that banelings are going to be important against what Polt brings to him. And if he deals with Polt's push like he did in the last game, where he only has like 8 to 10 Zerglings, saying that these Hellions aren't much of a threat, then he's in really good shape. But Polt, is he getting a bit aggressive here? Because he could have gone through there.
Yeah.
He could have gone through there.
Now, I mean, there's a huge focal point on this map, which is, I mean, it was the 3rd before, but now it's definitely 3rd. Look how much damage he actually did with those Hellions and Reapers. So if Polt continues to play the aggressor, wait, did he have this many Marauders early on last time?
He had 1 last time. He's got 2 and a 3rd now. So this is a bit of a different attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point there. Because I was looking at Snoot's drone count, and it's lower than it was in the last game because he's got a higher unit count. But yeah, the Marauders have been added in here. So this attack is...
We saw this recently.
It's very similar. It's very similar to what we've been seeing through Polt's play today. But the Marauders are going to just instantly kill this base on the left-hand side. And we saw this I
can't remember who it was.
in the Korean qualifier, and it was Fantasy.
Ah, yes. Oh, God, it was so good.
Something like this.
Was it on this map?
No, it wasn't. It was on Frost.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, it was. Oh, you're right. Good deduction there.
Yeah, so we have a quick pause here from Snute, but the Marauders actually are inside the Medivac, which has gone off to the top right.
Really?
And I can't imagine what he's looking to get with that. He's no way... I guess Queens, but there's no way he's going to get a hatchery or a lair
I would have
just with 4.
Yeah, I would have loved to have seen it down with the army for the kill on the 3rd, but maybe he's looking to put it on the high ground and do some damage to his 4th or deny the...
No, I think it's just Queens. It has to be Queens and drones, so that he can't do anything else. While attacking on the left-hand side too.
And there's actually not
more Hellions than last time. Look at the Hellion count too.
Yes, 35 Lings are going to try and deal with this, but these Hellions, whoa, they do get wrapped around, but there's a lot of damage being done.
Good wraparound.
Yeah, he actually cleans out really quickly. Very nicely done, but meanwhile the 4 Marauders in the main base trying to get themselves a queen will do. Limit a little bit of the production here, but the Lings are already there to actually shut it down.
I can't believe how good of a surround that was by Snute, managing to get the Hellions there. There was like 14 Hellions.
Yeah.
There's no Roach War, and it's something else that Polt added on.
I'm so confused, though. The Hellions, they could have kept microing back and forth, I guess, to try and keep themselves alive, but they just sat in that mineral eye. I guess he wasn't expecting that many Lings. Huh.
Well, 4 Marauders have got a lot of work to do. They have to pay for themselves and also 14 Hellions, and that probably isn't going to be the case, which means that we are going to see Polt go into the mid-game in a behind situation. He lost a lot of units there. He doesn't have the fastest 3rd command center. It isn't mining from already. He sacrificed a lot of units. He only has 5 Marines at home, so it's not like he can go and expand and take his own 3rd base, which means Snute can take his 4th, and you know, he can get 2-2 upgrades. He can go over to, well, get his Mulus out in a couple of moments' time. Just a perfect position here from Snute, but he's morphing 25-odd Banelings, which is a little bit weird, especially because he needs Overlords, because he's heavily supply blocked.
Yeah.
Interested why he's morphing so many Banelings while not actually building Overlords.
I'm guessing he's anticipating some, like, follow-up aggression or something, but, I mean, realistically, after that kind of got thrown against the wall, those Hellions down to the left, it's going to be difficult for Polt to really move out properly. And considering that normally all of those Hellions are there and trying to run around and maybe get some creep tumors where they can, but they just didn't do that for the longest time. And look how well the creep is now spreading out here for Snute.
Yeah, creep is very good for Snute. Very good for Snute here.
Nice block. And denies that link.
4th base is up and running, uncontested. He's got great creep spread supporting his 3rd and 4th base as well.
Snoot's been looking at that creep infographic and just spreading 2 creep tumors down each of these paths. Although separating up in the middle of the map, but it's going really well for him right now.
Yeah, just hasn't got his melee upgrades. +2 melee. That would have been the only thing he's missing at the moment.
How come he didn't say? Is it just a mistake that he didn't start that?
Yeah.
A little bit of a shame. But at the same time, he's getting those Mutalisks out. So now he's going to build up that ideal composition that he wants against this force. And The 2-2 for Polt is a little bit slower than I was anticipating.
Yeah, this creep spread is really, really good right now. This is it just protects his bases so much easier against any onslaught that Polt can go for, because he almost has to plant his first couple of Widow Mines outside a creep unless he wants to fight with fire, basically.
Exactly.
Snute could just come crashing through.
Yeah, you just do not want to be fighting on creep against this. Those banelings, they have centrifugal hooks. You want to be fighting them off creep where they're a little bit slower so you can split better, but... Well, Polt's Widow Mine placement is actually really, really cool. I'm really liking the divide that he has on these Widow Mines so he can actually stim back and try and keep going, but
yeah, this is where Polt's going to launch his attacks from, on this third base, on this left-hand side. I think you could even get Spine Crawlers here to be super safe to make sure that you don't die to that.
And meanwhile, everywhere else, the creep is being spread. And this is one of the advantages of spreading creep on this map as a Zerg player. If your opponent is on another location, because there's so many different windy paths, you can get the creep going elsewhere very strongly.
Yeah, I definitely think you can build a couple more drones and build spines to protect this left-hand side, because this is exactly where Polt's going to go down. And if we see this being destroyed, this hatchery that's already low health, then we know he probably should have.
All right, well, the Mutalist is going to swing on in here and push this away. Two Banelings got themselves in between that composition and actually did really well for themselves.
And there's no creep spread now. It was great creep spread, but it has been cleaned up on this left-hand side. Starting to get a little bit worrisome here for Snute.
Yeah.
He has broke the rocks, though, so if we see Polt dash down that left, we could see a counter-attack swing from this right-hand side.
Polt's on top of it, though. He realizes that that's a possibility.
Oh, great spread there by Snute, too, with his Banelings.
Yeah, just dividing those up where he can. So now Polt pushes on forwards for just a second. Another Widow Mine ended up dying, but...
Snute's got a great flank. Units on the left, units on the right.
But this bio army's not that big. Needs to be careful.
Yeah. And he's got a lot of Thors and Marines at home. Definitely needs those. 2-2's about to be done. But Snute has been on 4 bases all game. A wonderful gas income. Can very easily look at going up to the infestation pit and look to go in hive. He can easily look at taking a 5th base now. Just lots of different options here available through dealing with those Hellions. It ultimately comes down to the Hellions. Losing those Hellions and dealing with them.
And this drop on the right-hand side has been spotted as well. It should have been at least by those two.
Yeah, the Mutas are going for it already.
Yeah, so good moves here by Snute, also expanding up to the north. He was blocking off his opponent's 4th, and these Lings are trying to buy even more time to block that off with those Banelings. So not too bad, but at the same time, Polt pushing through the middle, trying to clean up some more creep. Absolutely has to if he wants to stand any chance in this game. Oh, and that medevac got completely torn apart.
These Banelings are a little bit wasteful on this right-hand side. Definitely a little bit wasteful. Obviously, killing supply depots is okay, I guess, but yeah, you probably want to be using all of your Banelings for the actual fight. Oh, these units are a little bit... Okay, they're okay. A little bit away from their main force, but... Overall, Snute just expanding. There's the infestation pit. We'll eventually want to go up to hive and further upgrades, but he is trying to keep Polt away from this 4th.
Yeah, he's done a really, really good job about blocking it, be it with the Overlords or be it with the little Ling and Baneling force that he sent down there. And then yet another drop over on the right-hand side gets spotted by Zerglings. So Polt...
He may not be watching, though, because he's controlling his Mutalist on the left against Widow Mines and the Thors. He may have missed that one, though.
I think he might be swinging... Well, even if he is, it's a little bit late. The trajectory of those Mutalisks, yeah, he's not really fully been able to spot this. So... And now he has to prioritize. He has to deal with this push on the...
He might lose his 5th, but he's got to defend both. He's going to try and defend both. Mulists go to the north and Lings, Banelings on the left, but that's a great spread from Polt.
Yeah, a lot of these Banelings hit some of the Thors at the beginning of this fight, and they will end up continually pushing through. The Thors stay alive.
It's a good fight from Polt.
Very, very nicely done, keeping a lot of this army alive. The Mutalist needs to come back here and help this out, because right now Snute is being drawn apart.
All right, there's the first... mark on the blackboard in favor of Polt there, destroying that base on the left.
Very well done.
And Snute with his Mulist, realizing there's a lot of units out of position, he's going to try and get maybe a cancel or kill on a 4th if he sees anything along the lines. But there are Marines here to defend.
I've morphs in here, but still that 4th base. Well, he's actually going to fly down to the bottom left-hand corner here. Is Polt, after realizing that it's always going to be a little bit difficult on the right-hand side.
How many Marauders are out? He's building 2 Marauders already, so it's not like the Ultra Switch is going to be easy. But Thor's caught off on the left-hand side here.
And they have to be careful, especially with this Mulist reinforcing. As long as he actually controls the Mulist properly. Oh, but a big volley there. It's a lot of those Mutas.
Yeah, the control in this game has been absolutely fantastic by Polt. Look at the units lost tab, the L button on the keyboard.
L button, that one.
Look at that. Massive difference between the two of them. Polt has been behind in economy, but he's won most of the fights, which means that doesn't matter if your opponent's making more money. He's also spending more money because he's losing a lot of these fights. And Polt has been really solid in this game. Really, really, really good. Apart from the Hellion mistake, Polt's played much better in this series.
Yeah, he's doing brilliantly here in game number 3. And we'll push this away from his base once again. Now, Polt is also looking to expand to the 5th as well. Just really, really ramp up his income here. And expanding over to this right-hand side whilst pressuring down this right-hand side as well. Yeah. It's going to work nicely.
This is good because Polt's got so much money now with taking new bases that he can actually waste 16 Marines. On the left-hand side, if these Marines just stim and kill that base, sacrifice him. It doesn't matter as long as he stops that base from mining.
And these Zerglings are going for a counter at this 3rd base, but there's a few reinforced units here that could help out.
Ooh,
it's got to be careful.
In the bottom left do get to SCV line. That always helps. But at the same time, this map is small. It's choky. The avenues are small. Widow Mines do great damage here. And Polt's got another choke point on his opponent.
And now it's just in full, complete crazy mode as, a lot of those Mutalisks do get weakened quite significantly, whilst Polt also presses his advantage up to the north. He's laying waste to that base up to the north, which does die. So does this one at the 4th location as well. Polt is looking really good here in game number 3.
Oh, this is beautiful. Polt has played a very good game, and I thought this might happen. On his map, with his experience of being able to elevate his gameplay throughout a series, and he really has brought a better game out. But there's a last-ditch effort here from Snute. Ultralisks and a mass bailing attack. If he can clamp out this army, maybe. But with the spread that Polt already has, the Thor additions in here with the +2 armor, it's not going to be easy.
Oh, he moves forwards before everything else, and he gets absolutely obliterated. And now, well, Polt takes the massive supply advantage that he needs to seal up this series. GG.